So we're sitting here at the closing with Rebecca and Michael Shack, and they just closed on their new home in Minnetonka with kind of a unique scenario that I'll let you guys explain the process, how it went, and what you thought of it.
Well, a couple months ago, our realtor Joe told us he saw a house he thought that we might be interested in. The house was down to its studs, so it needed some renovation. We were standing out front waiting to get in, and we were pretty sure this was going to be the house that we wanted to buy. So we went through it, fell in love, but the question was how do we procure it, and how do we get the renovation done? Joe introduced us to Glenn and Kurt and had them out later that same afternoon, and we started talking about plans for getting the house and having it renovated. And we got the house, helped them design what we wanted done, and 2.5 months later, we're closing, and we could not be happier with how the place turned out.
That's so good to hear. So would you say it ran pretty much like the Property Brothers on HGTV? Did it run pretty similar to that, or would you make some parallels?
Absolutely. We had input, but also they were able to use their experience and their connections to design it to a level that we would be happy with, but that we could also afford. And I will say that the one way it was not like Property Brothers was that we didn't go over budget. We had a fixed budget, and that's how much we ended up closing the sale of the house for. So we last saw the house about 3 weeks before we closed, and Glenn told us that he would have the reveal for us in a couple weeks. We went on vacation, didn't have to worry a bit, didn't have to deal with contractors or arranging people to come in and finish work. We just arrived, and when it was done, and fell in love.
That's so good to hear. So the Property Buddies is going to hopefully grow from here with your great experience and testimonials, and we'll have pictures of your house on the website for viewers to see. Michael, did it turn out the way you wanted it to turn out and hoped it would be? Is it going to be the house you stay in forever, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it really exceeded my expectations, and the house had so many kind of hidden values that we weren't sure of day one, like the amazing wood floors and the hopefully working pool and whatnot. So yeah, it's exceeded, and the renovations themselves were very high end and good.
Great. Now, would you say this is kind of a hybrid of somebody wanting to do their own renovation and flipping a house, or buying a house and renovating it themselves? I know it's a lot of people talk about it and want to do it, and I never see it quite work out the way someone without experience would have liked it to work out. Would you say this is kind of a hybrid of that?
Absolutely. And what it did was allowed us to have input on what the final product looked like, but used the connections of an established builder remodeler. So they were able to use their employees, subcontractors, rather than us going out and trying to find the right person for every job. They also were able to use the vendors that they've established relationships with, and so we weren't necessarily paying top market for all of the finishes, the granite, the tile, all of that. I think we were able to get much more in experience with somebody else that we know that's doing a similar thing. Their project has gone into 7 months, and they're still not in their home. Our project has been done in under 3 months.
Yeah,
That's great.
and we don't have to get bogged down in every single detail either, because I know new homes. A guy at my work who just recently built a new home. He's like, you're gonna be making selections for weeks on end. I guess that's what we're gonna do, but it didn't end up being that way. So we didn't get into the kind of minutia of what you could select versus a tried and true approach.
Sure. Well, your house turned out amazing. Very nice job. Any final thoughts for people that might be considering working with the Property Buddies, Joe Houghton and MN Renovations?
We would, without reservation, recommend Joe and Glenn and Kurt with MN Renovations.
Thanks so
As
much,
corny
guys.
as it sounds, I mean, home dreams can come true. So.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.